Welcome to the SnarkAlec radio show. I am Tony Solo on Twitter, and we've got a very, very live and action-packed and VEXxed show for you people tonight. We might talk about Defiance, but we're probably going to talk to VEXxed a lot, and you'll get to meet him in a second, and who the hell knows where the show is going to go. But first, with me, as usual, a man who needs no introduction, a man of wealth and taste. It's Mikey B with a new side piece.
Yes, this is the don't tell my main side piece, Helena, or Pat from Psychotica, but VEXxed is with me tonight.
Hey,
Boom.
VEXxed.
Yes, sir.
And also with us tonight is the man, the myth, the legend, the Kelly. The Kelly with the news. What's up, Kel?
Hey, everybody. Kelly Tool at KELLYTHUL on Twitter. And here is the SnarkAlec news. So we want to cover birthdays because that's what we do. But Laura Norman is supposed to send us a list of birthdays. And we all know Laura uses a BlackBerry, which usually involves like horses and smoke signals and some carving in stone. So we should be getting that list delivered to us on papyrus, I assume, in a year or two. So we don't have the birthdays from Laura. So Laura let everyone down. So that's the first point on birthdays. So thanks, Laura.
The Pony Express broke down, I guess.
Yep. The stone chisel broke. I don't know. But anyway, SnarkStock updates. Any updates, Tony and Mike, on SnarkStock?
Next week when Reggie's on, we'll have all of the information on SnarkStock for everybody.
That would be Reggie Bug Muncher.
Boomouche.
Get the fuck out of here. I know her. Boomouche. It's fucking Bug Muncher. Don't lie.
Boomouche. Use the umlaut, people. It's not a suggestion. Judith says hi.
Use the umlaut's a great band name. Sunday, sometime on Sunday, Dylan Knowles will be on. Do we know who Dylan's guests are this week, Tony? Or
I do not.
we know it's not me. He doesn't invite me, so.
It's not me.
Okay.
And
all right.
yeah, that was distracting.
Yeah, we've got. So this will be an adventuresome show. A couple shows coming up on Sci-Fi this Saturday. Zodiac: Signs of the Apocalypse. We've had a couple sci-fi movies in a row. Been pretty cool.
Yeah.
This one looks like it'll be simply lovely. So be sure and tune in for Zodiac: Signs of the Apocalypse. And then in 2 weeks on August 30th, Bait, which I am assuming is an earthworm-based movie. I don't know anything about Bait.
Bait is not a sci-fi movie per se, but it is a premiere for sci-fi, so it would be something new. But the Zodiac Apocalypse movie that's on next week was a movie that was supposed to be on and it never aired. It got postponed a couple of times, and they're finally putting it out. So this thing is about a year late, I think, maybe a little bit less.
Sweet. Well, I'm looking forward to it. Should be cool. And then Bait. Boo of the Week. Wrapping up not quite wrapping up the news, but for Boo of the Week, Boo of Week actually goes to Lisa Marie Bowman, but not the way you'd think. I booed Lisa Marie during the last movie because, what the heck was the name of that movie, Tony? Teens with Lightning Bolts. Whatever
it was The Darkest Hour.
Yeah, The Darkest Hour. And these creatures would kind of pull people into them, and they'd kind of shatter into a million bits as they got pulled into the aliens inside their electromagnetic whatever. And Skylar, which is kind of a girly name for a guy, but Skylar
Says Kelly.
Yeah.
Wait, what the fuck, man? That's a ballsy statement.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I knew that was a problem. Anyway, she went to one of the traditional puns at that point and said Skylar went to pieces, which was pretty solid at the time, but I gave her a boo, and so for that fine execution, Lisa Marie Bowman gets booed for this week. So congratulations, Lisa Marie. Last bit of news. We have just found out that there is going to be a screening in Wilmington, Delaware of Gerald Webb's movie A House Is Not a Home. So Gerald's looking for any SnarkAlec in the... I don't know what that is. Is that your ticket?
The ticket!
Mike has a ticket. So obviously there's no Anyone can attend. Mike's going to be there. He's looking for SnarkAlec in the Northeast to attend. Tony and Mike already have tickets, so the cool kids are going to be there, and anyone else who wants to come simply needs to contact Gerald. Probably via Twitter is a really good way to go, and he will get you a link for a ticket. It's Sunday, August 24th, from 2 p.m. till 5 p.m.
Yep. And I found out about it the other day, and Mike already had his ticket. So, but that should be...
Yes, I did, because Gerald likes me better.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm sure he does. So, where do we want to go from here? Do we want to go into Defiance for a quick minute? Because we haven't talked about Defiance in about 3 weeks, so maybe we should do just about maybe 9 minutes on Defiance, and then we'll get on to talking about VEXxed and getting questions in for him.
Sounds excellent.
Can I interject? May I ask a question now?
Sure.
All right, I'm obviously not aware of what Defiance is, and perhaps people listening aren't, so could you explain it to us for the clueless, my friends?
Okay, well, for the clueless, Defiance is a show set in the future where the Earth has been invaded by several alien species from a galaxy far, far away. And there was a war, and now everybody's trying to live together happily ever after, but there's a lot of strife and, different political entities around, and Defiance is actually set in what used to be St. Louis, and it's a very interesting show, and they do show a lot of sex, and they show a lot of sex for a show that's on at 8 o'clock.
I have a question. Did we beat the aliens, or did they win, or are we living in harmony now?
It was a case of almost mutual destruction. The future Earth looks almost like the Old West with some great gizmos and gadgets and stuff.
Is our infrastructure still intact? Like, do people have jobs, and is there U.S. mail and things of that nature?
People have jobs. The country the U.S. anyway, is shattered, and there is still pieces of alien spacecraft that fall to Earth and do damage.
Do teenagers get drunk and fuck with them at night? Because that would be amazing.
That appears to still happen. In addition, when the aliens planned to terraform the Earth when it came, so when their ships crashed, you've got all these kind of weird additional creatures. So it's now this kind of hybrid world of things that are a little familiar. And a lot of this Defiance is actually St. Louis. It's where one of the big battles occurred, and both sides laid down their arms to kind of say we're not going to fight anymore. And you asked about the infrastructure. So some things like the Arch are still there, but it's a heavily damaged Arch. And there's this idiot on the show that insists on doing a radio show at the top of the Arch. And the thing is that, half the Arch is about missing, and the guy's at the very top of it doing the radio show.
Well, yeah, but I kind of like him because the character's name is Alec, so I call him SnarkAlec, and he does the SnarkAlec radio show from up in the Arch.
He could have put an antenna up there. He didn't need to be up there. You don't have to be next to the antenna. Put the antenna up there, Alec. So, all right.
Kelly, why are you so pissed off at this guy, though? Explain. You're mad. I can see your face.
I'm mad. This is wrong. It's wrong because it's stupid. You don't want to be up in the Arch. Thing's going to fall down.
Wait, hold on. We're talking about a show that's centralized in St. Louis where aliens were almost obliterated by Earthlings, which doesn't kind of make sense. And that's the stupid part for you, is that the guy does a radio show on top of the fucking Arch. That's it for you.
That's you got it. Dead on, man. That's exactly right.
Tell you, VEXxed,
you have seen the wisdom.
Why Kelly is pissed off? Because there is supposed to be another alien that they have not introduced yet, but if you read any of the background material, there's one alien species that's basically just a form of gas, and they have not introduced that alien. So basically it would be like a smoke monster.
I beg to differ with you on that, Tony. I believe they did.
He's begging to differ! Yes! Differ, Kelly. I want to hear this.
I believe they did introduce that alien in the second to last episode in the suit. They had to be contained. So they had originally said it was gas, but apparently it's energy, and it was the thing that was in the suit.
Now, Kelly, when you were in jail recently, did your family DVR this for you?
Okay, so I've taken media training, and you can tell by the smooth way that I handle SnarkAlec Radio that I've been media trained. So what I've learned is I don't repeat negative language, Mike. So what you just said, I was like, that is simply not true, Michael. That is simply not true.
Other incarcerated individuals.
That is simply not true,
You
Michael.
went to summer camp. Did your family tape it for you, sir?
You see, now there's no negative language in VEXxed's question, so I think from now on, VEXxed needs to...
I went to Temple University and I studied communications. I know all this stuff.
There you go.
I know it.
Hey, can you whisper into Mike's ear, not only just for fun, but also to kind of steer him in the show?
Never. No. Mike is the boss. I just work here.
All right. I think that's ill-advised, but okay. So really quick, Tony, Defiance. We got 4 minutes on Defiance. What'd you think of the most recent episode?
I was confused until we got about halfway through. I thought that Kenya was actually alive. Well, there's someone that looks exactly like that character, but it turns out that she is an Indogene. And an Indogene is someone that likes to wear Levi's wherever they go. And yeah, they look a little bit like snake people there, Vex. It was really interesting. The punch with Tommy was there's a lot of interesting things, and I thought for almost the entire show that Daytak was playing Stama, and I still think he is. So Stama's got herself in a corner at this point.
Indeed, she does. Yeah, and Daytak seems to finally be coming back, which is good because I've never really been Team Daytak, but he's you can't count him out. So
yeah, well, he's been very entertaining lately.
And I'm kind of digging Berlin. You know, I don't really care about what she's doing in the series, but she's pretty.
Yeah, I
kind of like that.
I like Berlin, and as you pointed out before the show, or two episodes without side boob, no bath scenes for Stama. Which is always in negative.
Wait. I have to interject really quick. I know that this isn't pertinent to the Defiance talk, but Kelly, can you please explain to Vex your Dr. Boobs theory?
Okay, so here's the story on this, Vex. So we watch a lot of these bad science fiction movies.
Clearly.
And in these bad science fiction movies, oftentimes there is a very attractive young lady who, for some unbelievable reason, has a degree in nuclear physics or different things.
I've been to the strip club. They're always studying that. I understand.
They went to Stripper University, and she came out of Stripper University. She's got her glasses on, and they all wear extremely tight tank tops. And I felt this was scientifically sound because a very tight tank top will push the blood up to the brain, allowing them to think more clearly, while at the same time leaving their skin exposed to cool the body to allow it to operate at the optimal science level.
So science isn't your forte, in other words. Like, we're just going to... Anatomy and all that, you just skipped all that in high school?
Blood is good. Blood is good.
I cry blood. I'm with you.
Yeah. Tight shirt pushes blood to brain. Better thinking. Simple math.
Bad math. I understand, but keep going, Kelly. No worries.
Sadly, that's the end of the theory.
That's it. That's all you got.
Tight shirt. How much more do you need? I got the blood up to the head. I got a tight shirt. I'm good.
Like, you know, there's the internet. Like, I can give you internet, like, fucking porn sites. Side boob is not where it's at. Like, double fucking vaginal is where it's at, man. Like,
okay, so let's pause there for a second.
Already abandoned.
Let's take a break, and when we come back, we will explore the side boob a little bit more.
Because I have to refute. Yes. Okay.
So this is the SnarkAlec Radio Show on Live 365's Loud and Loaded channel, and we will be right back. And we're back, and Vex, if you can go into the chat window, I just put a link in. If you click that link and scroll to the bottom of the page, every picture on that page that you're going to see are all characters from Defiance, but the one all the way at the bottom is Stama in the bath.
I would not have sex with any of these people. All right, that guy I'd bang, but...
It must be Daytak. So as soon as you get a chance to take a look at that, we'll give Kelly his shot at refuting.
All right, I'm looking, Kelly. What do you got? I want to hear this.
So this is a refuting you, Vex. This is a refuting Tony a little bit, because I need people to kind of understand the way the show works and all. And so Tony, in the typical Tony kind of way, goes, well, as you were saying before the show started, Kelly, about side boob, implying that I entered the show desperately needing to talk about side boob, where an actual recounting of what happened before the show, fact, is Tony brought it up before the show. And I agree to say this is the second show. But I didn't introduce the side boob status conversation, Tony. You did.
Okay, and I'll admit it. I said, hey, look, another episode without side boob, and you were like 2 shows in a row. So
I'm keeping track.
So I said another show. I wasn't counting the number of shows without side boob.
Well, you could have made it. You could have made it to 2. I got confidence in you.
Well, if you thought I was implying that you were the one who brought up the conversation, no, it was all me. I brought up the side boob because
Thank you.
Everybody on Twitter talks about the side boob. I brought it up.
Really?
Not everybody.
Like, that's like the point of interest, the side boob on like bad cable television. You guys gotta watch Oz reruns with full frontal nudity. Like, we're talking giant erection just swinging in the wind.
I like that you went to male frontal nudity.
I'm a gay. Haven't we heard this?
We didn't get to the questions yet. Shh.
I'm not a gay. I'm sorry, guys. Go ahead. I don't mean to bust your groove. I apologize.
No, we are grooveless. Don't worry about that.
Groovy.
No, so I think I think, I don't know if there's anything else on Defiance beyond the fact that this is a good season. I'm enjoying.
How many seasons in are we, Kelly?
2. This is just the second season, so it's a new deal. But I did this is a real character builder. I went to a comic book convention kind of thing, science thing, and the cast was there, and they were incredibly cool and pretty fun. So.
But they're not that famous. They have to be cool, right? Like, that's how it's starting.
It helps. I think it does help if you hit, if you're not like over the top famous, you can be. Because that's why Mike is so hard.
They're no Will Wheaton, let me tell you.
Someday.
Don't
wait, what did you say?
They're no Will Wheaton.
Oh, yeah, believe me, we're better than Will Wheaton. Will Wheaton's got a freaking staff of freaking writers, and he's got a laugh track that plays in the background.
Why does all this Will Wheaton hate? Where is all this coming from?
Asterisk.
He's a cunt. Will Wheaton's a fucking cunt. I can tell you in great fucking example why he's a cunt. Fuck that guy right in his fucking hairy ass beard and fat face. Like, he was on, alright, he's in Stand By Me in 1986 or some shit, right? And that's a fine movie. It's good. He's not a bad actor. I hear you. And then he grows up. One fucking dies the Viper Room. The other one's a fucking asshole covering fucking John Lennon songs. And there's Will Wheaton. And what's he do? He goes to fucking Star Trek, right? When he's on Star Trek, he convinced himself he's God. Well, the show ended, and now he's a jerk-off. Yay. And that's my Will Wheaton story. And he used to fucking blog. He did. He was a blogger in 2005. It was this whole fucking thing, man.
So before we
Apparently, I'm here at the Fuck Will Wheaton fan club meeting tonight.
I like Will Wheaton. I like Will Wheaton.
We're gonna get a record deal, and I'm gonna find you, and then you're gonna have to fucking justify to me your existence. And I come with a road crew, and I'm a little scary looking in person, just a little.
Before we continue,
this is like Kelly's passionate hatred for Betty White.
That's true. But that's justified. That is completely justified.
No, Kelly, Betty White is a national treasure. Explain to me why you would dislike this woman. Seriously, I'm not even being sarcastic. I want to hear this.
Because she's not funny. She's not funny. You're funnier than her.
No.
You're funnier than Betty White. Yes, in the kitchen.
She has a network television show with very high ratings because Middle America seems to love old people fucking up, which is cool. I mean, they dig that. Dude, she's literally 118 years old, right? Like, she's old as, dirt. Remember how hot she was in the Mary Tyler Moore Show back in the day? She was
never VEXxed. She was never hot. VEXxed. She was never hot.
It would have been fucking awesome. I'd fuck her now because she's 100, and that's funny. But back then, I definitely would have hit that.
That's taking MILF to the extreme, I think.
No, it's Grand MILF. I understand. No worries.
Or Mummy. Mummy, I'd like to.
Okay. But I'm going to cut you both off now. Kelly, what's over your left shoulder? Or your right shoulder, whatever shoulder that is.
Well, that's the egg for the
Wait, since
for the evening.
very few people know the story behind this egg, because you never tell it,
I
why
know,
don't you
I
tell
know.
Vex the story behind the egg?
Yeah. So Vex, I don't really. It's hard for me to bring this up because I'm a shy man. But I actually won. So these bad science fiction movies. One of them was called Piranhaconda, and during the show, and it was about these people. They stole some eggs from the Piranhaconda, which is part snake, part fish, all killer, and they had the egg that they're running around in this cheap kind of plastic Tupperware thing, and that had really pissed off the Piranhaconda. And they actually, for the movie, had 2 prop eggs made, and all the rest were digital. One of them sank during filming, and the other one they gave away to somebody tweeting during the show, and that person they gave it away to was me.
So wait. I'm sorry, Kelly. I have to interject. That's a 1,000,000 to 1 chance. So instead of playing the lottery, you've opted to win the egg because you were tweeting live during the show.
There you go.
That is so fucking awesome. I respect that, sir. Well done.
And so we dress it up.
Now, it looks pretty interesting. It looks like a Starscream record there.
Yeah, we'll see if we can see how this can work here. I don't know. We'll see if we can do this. This will be a little interesting. See how well I can do it. Oh, come on. Okay, so what you have there, gentlemen, if you can see, is this is a Tyrannosaurus VEXxed egg. So this is in honor of you.
Wait, is that my head?
It is holding a Starscream album. As you can see there in its little Tyrannosaurus Rex arm, and there are 3 heads on the bottom that it has eaten, and that would have been Tony, Mike, and Gerald Webb. So that's
Now, being that my manager is present and my legal counsel, did you pay for that print, sir, to have it registered and put on your egg? Was that a purchased Starscream record?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I think so.
So you're the one. You're the one guy who bought it. That is so awesome.
So, since we learned that there are people on this show that don't know how to do plugs,
Yeah, somebody here hates plugs.
right, and it seems like it might be Vex hating a plug for his album on the Starscream. So.
Oh no. For real, no one bought the record. It's funny. Like it's like a joke. Like we fucking spent 10 grand to make this album, and like Mike has one, and now Kelly has one. So no, it's not a plug. Don't buy the record. Do not buy the record. Just come to the shows and throw feces at us. We're all about that shit. Just don't buy the record. Thank you. Sorry, Kelly. I mean to offend you, sir. Yeah.
No. I got to get back. So Vex, while we've been talking, is there a place I can get to your kind of full song listing from the? Because there's 2 albums now, right?
No, 3, sir. 3.
3. Can I get to that list of songs on each of the 3? Because I was listening to your stuff today, because I do show prep. That's what I do. And I liked a lot of your stuff, but there's
Me
one.
too. Vex and I were doing some really hardcore prep before you guys got.
I bet you were. But there is one tune in particular that I want to talk to you about because I think it should be the SnarkAlec radio thing. But
what tune? What do we got?
Well, that's why I need your list of songs, man. I listen to a lot of them.
What? Okay, that's a bit odd.
Kind of
sure.
a pretty prominent bass at the beginning, picks up, and.
Oh, I think I know what it's called. It's on it should be on the Fire and Alcohol record. It's the first song.
Yep.
Yeah, I hate that.
And that
song.
would be. Oh, good. So we can use it, right?
You can totally have it. You can have it for fucking free. I hate that song.
Okay.
You know what it is? It's a really high register for the chorus, so it sounds neat, right? And then you sing it live 600 times. You're like, fuck, I hate this chorus. It's called Wake Up, actually.
There you go. Thank
Yes,
you
sir.
very much.
Totally use that for free. It'd be awesome. You won't pay me. You pay me nothing.
Yeah. So, Mike, you need to put that at the beginning of our shows. Well, Tony needs to hear it first, see if he agrees. But you will, Tony. You'll agree. It's awesome. It's a good song.
Kelly says so. So we all agree.
Yeah.
The egg has spoken.
There you go. So it is a Tyrannosaurus VEXxed today, and it did consume Tony, Mike, and Gerald Webb. And it's also on Instagram, and you've got a link to it, Vex, in your Twitter feed, but you wouldn't know because you don't follow me back. I follow you, but you're too
I
cool.
don't even know how to work Twitter. Like,
Yeah.
typical musicians, sincerely. Yeah, well, I'm on Instagram. I don't follow me on Instagram. I can work pictures. Where you at?
Yeah.
Where you at?
I followed you on Instagram too, dude. I am on all major platforms. Again, show prep. I do my job.
Now that we've met each other, sir, I will follow you back.
That is an
Boom.
honor. Thank you.
He's gonna follow you so hard.
Okay, let's not go there. Anyway, so allegedly, tons and tons of questions have come in for Vex on the old Facebook thingy, which I know nothing about. So And Kelly, you did some show prep on that?
I did show prep on that too. There was a place for me to ask questions, and so I asked a question. And there are some pretty cool ones out there. So, Mike, are you going to handle Are you going to be the investigative reporter, possibly doing this as Howard Hughes, reading the questions as Howard Hughes?
Wait. Where's the Howard Hughes reference? That guy was like fucking deaf, literally. He couldn't like read questions of people.
No, but he knew how to drink wine.
Yeah.
And fuck hot chicks. I mean, I respect that too for a gay.
So I was speaking in this slow, sort of raspy voice on the show, and Tony was like, "Wow, that's a really good Howard Hughes impression." And Kelly and I were like, "We don't think you mean Howard Hughes."
I know who he means. Hugh Downs?
No, he meant Orson Welles.
Alright, well, that doesn't sound the same.
No, not at all. Not even remotely close. So to keep reminding him of this, we just call it the Howard Hughes voice now.
More calling Orson. Sorry.
So do you want to start the questions?
Yes, Orson.
Well, wait. If I'm going to do this in Howard Hughes' voice, then Kelly should read questions in his Kamer voice.
I can do that. I got to get over to Facebook to just pull some of the next ones out.
Yeah, just open up the thread and we'll just go one at a time down the list. Obviously, we'll skip my commentary on them. We'll just do the questions.
That's good. And so Tony, I know Tony, it's like radioactive for you to touch Facebook, but we should probably try and get you some of those too. I'll see what I can do to throw them in there.
It's all right. I'm fine here.
All right, you can do the follow-up question. How about that? Mike and I'll ask the questions, and you can do the follow-up.
Okay.
There you go, yeah. All right, so I'll get this started then. Kelly, are you on Facebook yet?
I'm getting there, so go right ahead.
Okay.
Ask the first question slowly.
And this sounds exactly like Howard Hughes. Like that, or Orson Welles. Vex. This question is from Vex Starscream. Are you in fact a gay?
Though there's been speculation in both directions over the years, I can definitively advise I am not a gay.
Yet.
It is early.
That was my teeth. Did you hear that? That was my fucking teeth.
It's a long show.
On his cack.
He's gay now. Kelly, take the next one.
Howard, ask one more question, please. Just give me a moment.
Paul Warner wants to know if you have his money.
Let's discuss that in depth, shall we? How in the fuck do I own Paul Warner fucking any fucking money? I mean any money. Like, I think he owes me money, actually. Like, I think he has some Starscream swag that he never paid for. I think he was in our video and I didn't get any percentages off that. Like, sure, Paul, I have your fucking money. Come to a show and collect it in person. How about that? Boom.
Okay, so who is Paul? Follow-up question.
Exactly. Who the fuck is Paul?
That's the question.
Paul is a good friend of Loud and Loaded, and he was in VEXxed's video.
Not the porn video, the Starscream video.
Well, I mean, he was at the porn video shoot, but he just...
I fucked her.
Right.
That's an accurate sentence, Rick.
Kelly, Yeah, Kelly.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. This Kamer. Kamer Dixon's got a question for you, Vex. Vex sounds like a string. What's Vex short for?
Vex.
Well, that's not short at all.
I know.
That's like the same length. That's no abbreviation whatsoever. Anyway.
No, you asked a question, sir. Please bear with me. I am of Lithuanian descent, and this is a fact, I swear to God. And my
Canada,
surname is as long as my right arm, and when it's cut down and Americanized, it becomes Vex. Now, ironically enough, the word Vex means to annoy people in the English language. I was born in America where we speak English. I annoy everybody. We're good. Next question.
And with that, we'll take a break. We'll be right back. This is the SnarkAlec Radio Show on Live 365's Loud and Loaded channel. And we're back. I'm Tony. Kelly's here. Mike's here. And Vex, the non-annoying or the most annoying guy that you've ever met.
Prove that
is
shit.
here with us. And next question was coming from...
Not from Orson Welles. When do you guys got to go?
I'll take this from Danny Knight. Danny Knight. Danny Knight wants to know, boxers or briefs?
Fucking boxers, man. Briefs are for children, and I'm a grown-ass man. Boom.
You're an ass man? Okay, so
You're not? Come on. I met you. I know what
I'm
you
just
like.
knocking that question off my list because that was a question I was going to ask you if you were an ass man.
You know, yes. Yes, I am.
So did you and Tony vote for the same guy for Pope, by the way? Or never mind.
No. Vex isn't involved in the papal
He's not a
discussions.
cardinal. He's not a cardinal.
Yeah, he's not a cardinal.
My bad. Sorry to open up a...
I really can't do the voice tonight, so I'm just gonna do it like some weird crackhead guy, just as deep and growly as I can go.
So, it'll just be your regular self, correct?
Yeah, no, it's my regular voice if I don't clear it up before the show. So Paul Warner wants to know, do you like country or bluegrass?
Number one, I'd like to say I think it's ironic a gentleman asked me for my money is asked me about country music because that's funny. But I'm going to give my smart-ass answer first and say we play both kinds of music, country and western. But then I'm going to sincerely advise that I appreciate old country music, classic country music. This shit they play on television and CMT, is that what it's called? Cunt music television or something like that, and like radio can suck my cock. I sincerely appreciate like Hank Williams Sr., Hank Williams III, ironically enough, old Johnny Cash records, Patsy Cline. I appreciate those things. The Oak Ridge Boys even, but like modern country, fuck you. And I don't even like bluegrass at all. So I guess good country is the answer.
I was unaware that Joe Strummer and Johnny Cash did a song together. Did you know that, Mike?
Of course I knew that.
Not quite.
You're not quite Mike, Vex.
I asked Mike, but
I'm the one inside of Mike right now, so you don't know.
So it's...
I should also point out that the very first guest ever on Loud and Loaded was Hank Williams III.
Tell us more about that.
Dead silence. The very first guest ever was Hank Williams III.
I'm trying to piece that together, and I don't see how that happened.
Well, this is it. Mike knows everybody, so it was him or Vanilla Ice. And thankfully, he went in, like, the wiser direction. Not that there's anything wrong with Rob Van Winkle. I'm just saying.
That's coming up later, your favorite rapper.
I got it. I even know who it is. Okay, what's the next question?
This is from Paul Warner Jr. What's your stand on the Dyrus in Missouri?
I think it was duress. Number one, Starscream's not a political band, so I want to stress that to everyone. Number two, I'm really sorry that someone's life was taken. Number three, I do appreciate that a police officer's job is difficult. So really, we don't have a stance. We just want everyone to calm down and kind of cooler heads hopefully will prevail.
Okay, I've got a question for you. Vex. So, have you seen the video where Tony Stewart got into it with some dude in a dirt track? His name was Ward, and the guy ended up dying because he basically just walked out in front of Tony Stewart's car.
Of course.
Okay, so how do you feel about that? There's a lot of people that are out there saying that Tony Stewart should be charged, and unfortunately the guy died, but my personal opinion is that if the dude would have just stayed in his car, he'd still be alive. How do you feel? Do you think he should be charged, or do you think that he won a Darwin Award?
No one wins an award. Again, a life was taken, which is tragic. It was a young man. If he was an older man, he would have perhaps comprehended a cooler head, stay in your car, and get rescued. So no one's going to get charged because it wasn't with malice and it wasn't murder. They're on a fucking racetrack. They're driving very, very quickly. You should have stayed in your car and shut up. I'm just sorry the guy passed away. That's, like, very tragic. No Darwin Awards here.
He gives such grown-up answers. I know. Like, whenever I do an interview, I refuse to answer any questions like this because I know I'm going to say something awful.
Well, duh, Mike. It's like, oh, what a shock that is.
This is like when I went on Are You Serious? And they asked for questions of different things, and I said that Kelly Toole sending questions about my penis.
I can discuss my penis in great detail if anyone has questions regarding that. Some interesting things have happened over the years to it, but, we can revisit that later.
So
we need to get to the other questions, though.
That's right. Yes, we do.
There's a lot of questions here. And I'm deflecting Kelly asking about that show.
Okay. All right. You've effectively deflected, so go ahead and ask the next question there.
Okay, so would you ever do a cover song album, and what songs would you do that were an influence on you?
Beer Lake.
It's a really fine question, actually. A lot of musicians do appreciate making cover albums once they're more established in their career. As Starscream, it would be different than if it was the VEXxed, like what I'm influenced by. Personally, I love some David Bowie songs. I love Queen songs, things of that nature. There's a band called the Marvelous Three that no one probably has heard of. They were really phenomenal. But if Starscream was to do it, we would probably do a classic Guns N' Roses song, very much to the dismay of my manager here. And I would probably throw in a Van Halen song, definitely a classic Sabbath song or two, maybe even an Ozzy song, but in that realm.
Okay.
Does that answer our question?
Yes, and follow up from me because I was going to ask you who your biggest influencers were. What bands, groups, or singers are your biggest influences?
Very easy. Pagan.
And Pagan influenced
Correct answer.
Pagan influenced nobody. That's the correct.
That's not true. There's a fat girl right now in Missouri who fucking loves Pagan. Like, you have no idea. For me, yeah, all right, this is bizarre. So bear with me. Do you guys remember watching pro wrestling in the early 80s?
Absolutely.
Okay, we all did, right? The Road Warriors, who were just the most gnarly thing ever, came to the ring with Iron Man. And I wanted to know who made this great fucking music. So I literally went out as a little kid to the wall-to-wall sound and video, and I purchased Black Sabbath fucking Paranoid on one side and Heaven and Hell on the other. I never listened to the Heaven and Hell side, by the way. Fuck that. And I just fell in love with Black Sabbath like from a very early age. And then the second like big influence was probably something like Motley Crue or Guns N' Roses. But then as I got older and I got, a little smarter, the Doors were a big deal. I love David Bowie. I love all of his work. Queen is another one because ironically enough, there was a tag team in the NWA who came into a Queen song, We Will Rock You, Manny Hernandez and Ravishing Rick Rude. And I loved that shit. So I went out and my friend's mom had a Queen Greatest Hits cassette tape, and I borrowed that shit for 3 years and learned every Queen song when I was 8. I loved it. I love Queen.
You like Alice Cooper at all there, Vex?
It's interesting. I like Alice Cooper band material a lot.
Right.
When the band and him sever, I'm not as big of a fan, but I'll tell you this, I lost my virginity to the Alice Cooper Trash record, so I do love that record.
There you go. Mike pretends to like Alice Cooper. That's a kind of a cool thing.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
You didn't even pick Alice Cooper as your favorite band on that send in the question.
I didn't. No, it was favorite album, wasn't it? His favorite album.
3 favorite bands.
Well, I'm a Clash guy. At the core, I love Alice, but if the Clash were still together and not dead, one of them, that's kind of a problem. But so.
I got a trivia question for you, Kelly.
All right.
What was Joe Strummer's stage name before he was in the Clash? Don't fucking Google it either, man. I'm watching.
No. Crap. I have no idea. It wouldn't
You're
make
not a big Clash fan, in case you were wondering. You are not a Clash fan.
I'm not a Clash fan.
His stage name was Woody, and if you would have called him Joe at that time, he'd have punched you in the face.
He spit on me. So how about that?
All right, that's kind of amazing, actually. I'm not going to lie. Maybe you've just saved your whole thing. Maybe you're pretty awesome. I don't know.
Aragon Ballroom, Chicago, 3rd row, and so spit. Joe, when he sang, there was things that came out, and I was damp.
What year? What year was this?
It was Combat Rock. They were touring to support Combat Rock. So.
Fuck! So you saw the real Clash?
Yeah. Yeah, I did.
That's phenomenal, sir.
That was the year they were opening for the Who. About every other show, and I'd gone up and seen the Who, but somebody else opened for them that night. But then I went and saw the Clash at the Ballroom. So.
Fantastic. I'm impressed. I take it back. You are a Clash fan. I apologize.
Right. Cool. Well, Kamer's going to come back and ask a question here. And this is in my massive show prep, which I think we've established I do. I missed this part. Apparently, you're as Kamer would say, you're a good word writer. You're a writer. Are you a writer? Do you do words on books and stuff, Vex?
Yeah, I'm mildly literate, yes.
Because Danny Knight says, I think you're a very good writer, and I think you mentioned something about a book you're working on that you may have completed. Could you tell us about your interest in books writing, and is the book complete?
Okay. First question, or last question. We'll do it in reverse. The book is not complete. It's still a work in progress. Believe it or not, it might be a good read. Like, you might appreciate it when it comes out. I sincerely like to read as many biographies as I can get my hands on, because I want to read about people who were successful and unsuccessful in this life, so I can try to learn from it and apply it to my life. Like, if I'm going to sit down and kill 3-4 hours and read, I don't want to read fiction where la 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 la, fuck fiction. I want to learn something. I want to understand something, and I want to use it to better my fucking goals. There we go.
Status update from Twitter. Rachel Rigda, past guest, very cool lady from Australia, just vomited in her coffee. And she wanted to thank us. And we were the cause of her vomiting in her coffee. So she wanted to thank us. You're welcome, Rachel.
Actually, I have a follow-up to the book thing, because we've discussed this before. I know that you like reading rock biographies and things like that. So what are a couple of your favorites?
All right. As a child, my first one that really got my attention was No One Here Gets Out Alive, which was written by Danny Sugarman about Jim Morrison. It's a lot of fabrication, so it's a pretty shitty book overall. It's fun to read, but it's not good. Danny Sugarman, though, wrote his own biography years later, I think in the 80s, and that is a phenomenal book. If you get your hands on that, read that. And then for rock and roll, Wonderland Avenue. And then if you're going to get the ultimate rock and roll biography, in my very humble opinion, the Sammy Hagar book is fucking stellar. Because this guy literally toured with The Who in the 70s, and then he fronts Van Halen in the 80s, and he's literally a billionaire. So he did something right. Very fine read.
Have you ever read Hammer of the Gods, the story of Led Zeppelin?
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you think I'm 7? Of course I've read that book.
Okay.
You're all judgy, Vex. You're a real judgy man.
Really?
We're asking questions. We're trying to.
Oh, come on, really? Have you ever read Hammer of the Gods? Yeah, when I was 7, I read that fucking book. Are you kidding me? And that's a lot of fabrication too, I might add. It's a good read though, but a lot of it's not accurate, sadly. But it's a good book. Did you like it? What did you guys think?
Well, I read it. I liked the way they talked about the way the songs evolved, which was probably my favorite thing. And then the mud shark incident, Smoke on the Water, that is well documented. I don't know how accurate that portrayal is of that event, but I did like it where they actually talked about the way songs evolved. And if you get any of the Led Zeppelin albums that came out after the band broke up, like the BBC recordings, and you can actually hear that when you listen to the live performances that they have out there, how you can hear a little riff in a song, and you know that riff became another song.
Oh, you mean all the Robert Johnson songs they stole? Those songs? Those songs, right?
No, I'm talking about the later stuff that they came out with.
Yeah, the Robert Johnson songs, the later ones too, yeah. Listen, every fucking note that fucking band ever fucking played in their fucking lives, they stole from black guys in America. And if you don't believe me, it's fine. I will meet all of us in person, and I will play you all the records, and you'll say, hey, that's a Led Zeppelin song. But it's not. It's a Robert Johnson song.
I know, that's all well documented, Vex.
I was going to say, in fairness ish to Zeppelin, they did admit that they stole all of those songs. So.
And here's what's really cool about Zeppelin. You want to hear how fucking not cool Zeppelin is? So, have you guys heard of a band called Pearl Jam? I'm thinking you might have. Is there silence out there? Have you heard of Pearl Jam? Okay.
We're scared to answer you now, Vex.
I'm sorry. But listen, so Pearl Jam's a really famous band. We all know who Pearl Jam are. They sold a lot of records, and they still tour. They literally got sued by fucking Page for lifting riffs in the mid-90s. Now think about that just for a second. The audacity of this fucking guy to be like, hey, you know those riffs I stole from that black guy? Well, you can't steal them, so give them back. And he took them to court, and they were like, are you fucking kidding? And dude, he won, too, which is the worst part. But, yeah, they stole everything, and then when other people lifted those riffs from them, they got directly offended. I think it's kind of hypocritical. Because, Tom Petty, for instance, who, by the way, has the #1 record in the country today, which I think is pretty amazing.
That was very cool. Saw that.
Pretty cool, right? He literally had a riff lifted by the Red Hot Chili Peppers by mistake, and it was on the radio, and they were like, well, Tom Petty, are you going to take it to court? And he's like, fucking no, it's rock and roll. You're making a fucking joke? No!
But
And
have
with that-
fun.
And with that, we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back. This is the SnarkAlec Radio Show on Live 365's Loud and Loaded channel. We'll be right back. And we're back. I'm Tony. Kelly's here. Mike's here. Vex is here. This is the SnarkAlec Radio Show on Live 365's Loud and Loaded channel, and we will just hand the show back over to Vex and let him yell at us some more.
Oh,
But-
that's
but-
not fair, gentlemen.
But in fairness, in terms of clarifying the whole mud shark thing that was mentioned earlier, has to be absolutely true because Frank Zappa wrote a song about it. So
You know, I'll be honest with you. From everything that I've gathered, it is true, and I can't wait to duplicate that myself on tour.
okay, so I'm scared to ask this question, Vex. But have you because this is where what am I 6? But anyway, have you heard Frank Zappa's Mud Shark before?
Yes, I have. Yes, I have.
What do you think of it?
I'm going to be honest. Pretty much everything Zappa's ever recorded is genius, and even the stuff that's kind of like draggy and sucky is still brilliant chord structurally. So I love it.
Musician-wise, absolutely, I get that. Did you so Thingfish? Did you hear the Thingfish kind of Broadway show he wrote?
No, I didn't. What's that
Oh.
like?
So Ike Willis, who's awesome singer. It's the Mammy Nuns, which is apparently a bunch of people they operated on in the World War II and created large potato heads. So Potato Head Bobby and all that kind of stuff work its way in there. But Ike Willis is the main one. It's a 3-album set. It's a tough listen, but we'll have to figure out some ways I can get
Listen, Kelly, I have a question for you.
that. Yes.
How do you feel about Zappa's children making music?
So I find Dweezil to be an awful respectable guitarist. It seems like his talent came from, obviously from his dad. But I don't see him doing anything new beyond parroting his dad. But he's the only one that I'd even entertain stuff from. But even then, I haven't seen him do anything original. Their dad was an original. I didn't see any of them do anything original, but I do find Dweezil a very competent guitarist.
He is a fine guitarist. I agree, but again, he's never written anything either. I agree with that sentence as well. All right, we got more questions?
We do. We're going to bring up here. Do you have one, Mike, or am I up, or what?
Well, the next one I think we kind of covered. It said about whether he's into Freddie Mercury and David Bowie, but we kind of already got into that.
Figuratively, right?
Yeah, so I think the next one would be from Bill Vickery, and he asks, if you could be the lead singer of any band in any era, in any genre, who would it be?
I agonized mildly over this. Like, the idea of, being Axl Rose in that Guns N' Roses band in, 1985 is entertaining to me. Wow, you're so delusional. But to me, that's a pretty good, thing, but I'll be sincere. I would want to be Ozzy Osbourne in fucking original Black Sabbath. That would be my dream job. My dream job. Dead air.
Oh, I'm working through the questions here.
You can't do on radio?
Alright, I guess I'll do the next one too.
All right. So when are we gonna get a Siver album from the Snark stream of songs that influenced them? So that's cover album. So we did that question.
We're way behind.
But Paul Warner Jr. doesn't know how to spell cover. He spells
But
it.
that was 10 minutes ago. You know that, right? No?
Yeah, but it's not in the stream. Can we expect a rap album soon?
Well, no. I'm a very big fan of all music, sincerely. I am. Even the stuff I don't even like particularly, I'll try to listen to. I like a lot of rap and a lot of hip-hop. Starscream will never make a record like that. Ever.
Who's your favorite rapper, since you made me wait all day?
You couldn't guess? If you had to guess, who would you think? For real.
Iggy Azalea.
DMX. I fucking adore DMX. That's on my workout mix right now on my phone.
If I had a million guesses, I never would have guessed DMX, seriously.
My name's VEXxed, his name's DMX. Come on, give me something.
Is that why he's your favorite rapper, or because of his rap?
A common consonant? Really, Vex? A common consonant bonds you?
Number one, who said it's common? Number two, no, I'm just kidding. No, DMX is the angriest crackhead on the planet Earth. How do you not fucking adore him?
Like he's like ruff, ruff, like he barks like my dogs bark, and he just like gets on stage and he literally, ironically enough, I read his fucking book too. You want to read some drivel? Oh my god! But the point is, that is passionate, real fucking hip hop. And then when you take somebody like Jay-Z, who's made $1 trillion in the industry, and not that like any of us are like African American males from the inner city, but would you consider that guy real hip hop? Like sincerely, like do you think of Jay-Z as a rapper or as like a fucking mogul?
No, he's a pop culture icon and a media mogul.
And DMX was a fucking rapper, and he smoked a whole lot of crack, and then went to jail, and I respect that.
I was gonna say DMX still lives in the streets. That's
He was just on VH1 trying to repair his marriage last year because he needed the money.
so. I used to work briefly as a baker.
Really?
I know.
I would never, ever.
And why has that never come up on the show before?
Once a million years ago, I used to be a baker, and when I was there, DMX was really hard up for money. Well, all right, that doesn't narrow down the time frame, but DMX signed with Cleopatra Records. And if you guys don't know anything about Cleopatra Records, one of the things that they do when they sign an established artist is they'll have them re-record some of their big hits so that they have the publishing on those songs that they can then go and license the new versions of those songs out to films. So they had DMX record a greatest hits album, but it's not the original songs. It's re-recordings of them. And they must have done all this in like one session. So my friend comes in to the bakery, and he's like, I just bought this DMX Greatest Hits CD. It's 2 discs, and I hadn't listened to DMX in forever. It's 2 CDs. It was $4 at FYE. $4.99, brand new. This wasn't like a used CD. Like it came out at $4 was the price tag. So we go to put it on, and it's like one of the big hits, like early in the record. It might be Rough Riders Anthem. Like it's like one of his big songs. Yeah, drop. It's like that song. And when he's doing the rap in the beginning, he messes up the lyrics and just keeps going. Like, they didn't re-record it. They didn't, like, obviously this is all done in, like, one session, and he just had to get to the crack house early. So, like, he's going along, and he literally at one point just goes, and just keeps going. Like, he tried to fake it, and they just kept it on the CD, and I thought that was amazing. It almost made me go out and spend the $4 to have a copy of it.
I'm going to go buy that after this show tonight. I am. I love DMX.
That's so weird to me.
I have all those records. Like, Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood. Like, the artistic integrity of that record's actually quite brilliant. Have you ever seen the movie Belly? He's a great actor before the crack. Did you see Belly 2? I recorded that shit on cable. It's so bad. Listen, guys, listen to this shit. Remember Coming to America, vaguely from the 1988? Remember that movie, right?
Sure.
Hello? Okay.
Yeah, I saw that when I
The
was
love
7.
interest in
I
Coming to
apologize for
America.
not answering quickly enough, VEXxed. We'll work on it.
Sorry, Kelly. I know you're not paying attention. You're like the bald guy screaming, and I respect that. But listen, so Coming to America is filmed in like '88. It comes out. The girl in it is really attractive. She's 25 years old. Belly 2 came out 2 years ago, and the fucking love interest is the same fucking girl from that fucking movie. Now she's like 46 years old. Like, the game's banging a 46-year-old black chick because they couldn't get anybody to be in the fucking movie. I love it. I love it so much. Like, as much as you guys adore really bad sci-fi, I love really bad urban movies. Like, there's so many of them. Do you ever see, like, Blood In, Blood Out? Oh my god, I own that on DVD. That make Benjamin Bratt a star. I love that shit.
All right, next question.
So speaking of blood, VEXxed, why do you cry blood?
And you know,
Wait, I need to just do a shameless plug here. The person who asked that question is Benjamin Sutt, the singer of Kill the Stigmatic, who did guest vocals on a pagan song.
So, I know this is like a comedy show and stuff, but this is actually kind of deep and it's sincere. My first wife passed away. It'll be 10 years ago this Mischief Night, which is October 30th, and every time I get on stage, I cry blood for the memory of my first wife. Dead air.
Respectful pause. How about that? A much different amount of silence.
I
So,
think
Mike, you got a question to ask.
Yeah, I think we skipped. Didn't we skip Jared's question here?
That's not the one you need to ask.
Wait, which one do I need to ask? No, we're not there. You're skipping questions.
All right, fine, whatever.
You're just trying to get to a certain question much faster.
Yes, I am. Go right ahead.
So we're going to go back to Jer Perry's question. And he writes, this is a shameless plug because he's mentioned me in his magazine. He writes for Ion Entertainment. And Jer asked, do you believe today... Do you,
Yeah, reading is hard, yo.
reading is hard, yo. That's the DMX. DMX should do that PSA. Reading is hard, yo. Woof! Do you believe today's mainstream music industry is more interested in looks and gimmicks or talent and the quality of the music?
Well, you guys know who Adele is, I'm sure. She sold like a cajillion records. Not a particularly attractive woman. None of us would have sex with her unless we were drunk. And I don't even drink, so it's not going to happen.
She's like a hot Betty White.
No, she's not hot at all, actually. And she just had a baby.
On a Betty White scale, she is.
I mean, I'd bang Betty White, bro. I'm telling you to
Man,
your
that
face.
is so
I would
wrong.
bang that
That's
so hard.
wrong.
But the point is
Wrong.
that I believe that if you have legitimate, good material, that's what really matters. In a world with like digital, you can fix things, but you're not going to last. Of course. Really? Explain the pagan records. But at any rate, I think that the cream will always rise to the top. And then to make it sound racist, white is right, baby. White is right. Okay. Next question.
So I got the next one, and it's from Tony Viejo. So, Mike, I got to ask a question before I do this. Is Tony like a little bit retarded?
Which Tony?
Viejo, the second.
Oh,
Not Tony Solo. No, I wouldn't.
I was gonna say, why are you saying that? He can hear us.
I know.
No,
I
on
said
the
Tony
show,
Viejo.
Kelly.
I know.
He can see us and hear us. And I just want to point out to everyone that was Kelly Tool, Thul, on Twitter.
Okay.
Because, like,
Tony's-
Tony's fucking famous and someone gives a fuck. Yeah, lie to yourselves. Like, his fans are going to come get Kelly. Kelly, you're fine. Don't even worry about
I
that.
think I should be safe. So, Tony Viejo,
Tony Viejo.
Tony Viejo, I asked, will Mike, lowercase m, will lowercase m for Mike, so I assume he's talking about a microphone. Will Mike get in touch with Tony regarding Halloween project?
Yes. Eventually.
Okay. That's why I just didn't find it a particularly helpful question and not even addressed to Vex. So that's why I asked if Tony I had issues.
Kelly, you could have skipped that one. No one would have known.
Yeah,
Wait.
I know, but it gave me a chance to diss Tony. So Tony's, I like Tony. He's a good guy. We need him
I'll
back.
get the next one since it's from somebody named Kelly Tool.
It means warrior. Go right ahead.
Kelly is a girl's name, so
It is not. It means warrior.
Kelly
We established
says,
this.
Vex, is Kelly the girl 4 or 5 times more awesome than Mike? Asking for a friend.
I think I've annoyed Kelly like 15 times in this broadcast, so I don't think either one of you are awesome, frankly. I'm offended, and why'd you ask me to be here? Thank you.
You haven't annoyed me at all. The fact, that you're chummy with Mike concerns me on your judgment, but outside of that, it's cool.
Now, I want to stress a few things to the listening audience. I never touch weapons when I'm in this home. I never touch door handles when I'm in this home. And I will not let him know where I live. Thank you.
Do you touch goat heads when you're in that home?
Yes, with my penis.
Okay. Thanks for the clarification.
We have another thing from Tony Viejo, and I think it's important to read this one on the air.
Then go ahead.
When will you have Tony Viejo on again? Asking for my pops. He would like to be on the show, to talk about neglect. That, for the 7 people who get that joke, that was hilarious. I'm not going to explain it on here.
I'm going to explain it. So Tony Viejo II, his father's like this weird, creepy blues musician who's been touring the country for like 100. Is he very successful? He's very. How come I don't fucking know who he is? He's so fucking successful. So he's very successful. I'm not Cuban. I'm not Cuban. I'm Cuban, B. So listen, Tony Viejo is a comedian, and his dad's like, not for nothing, son, but if you become a big old star here in this industry, you can't use my name no more, because I've built the year for 40 years building it up. Which is just goddamn amazing to me. And then I would say to my dad, if it was me, you gave me the fucking name. I'm a junior. This is your fault. Back to the program.
Okay. Back to the program. We're going to take a quick break, and then we are going to be joined by Gerald Webb for 5 minutes. So this is the Snark Alec Radio Show on Live 365's Loud and Loaded channel, and we'll be right back. And we're back. This is the Snark Alec Radio Show on Live 365's Loud and Loaded channel. I am Tony. Kelly's here. Mike's here. And VEXxed is here from the band Starscream and soon to be host of the Cockstars.
Is host. It's on.
Oh, it is on. Okay. Was
on.
not aware.
Which is your favorite, Mike?
Which is my favorite show on the radio?
Yeah.
It's Radio Babes.
Oh, that's a good choice. Excellent choice. Yeah. So, well played.
Neither of your shows.
Yeah, appreciate the ongoing support. So Paul Warner Jr. asked here.
Wait, I thought Gerald was joining us. Are we taking waiting for him? Or?
It's a process, Mike.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to fill some time. Are you familiar with how this format works?
Here's Mr. Webb.
There we go. See, Kelly.
All right, fine. So let's all sit here in silence while we wait for Gerald to join us. That's good radio. Go ahead, Mike.
You had a question ready, and you're not answering.
Well, yeah, until you shut me down, dickwad.
Whoa! Whoa! You cursed! It took like an hour, and you said it, dickwad. Yes.
Whoa! Prison has changed you. Okay.
It's hard.
There's been a negative influence in your life, Kelly.
Hello, Mr. Webb. How you doing?
Hi, how are you?
Negative influences in my life. Hi, Gerald. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well. You died today in 5 minutes again. Awesome job.
I didn't die. I came back as a zombie.
Yeah, he did. And then they killed the zombie.
Well, you were dead, though.
But,
that's not me. That's the zombie.
So want to congratulate you on the success of Sharknado 2.
Absolutely. Awesome.
Thank you.
What can you tell us about number 3?
And being on TMZ. That was awesome.
Yeah, it was a little weird, man. Didn't know that I was on. I mean, I knew that happened, but I didn't think that it would mean anything. And then I started getting calls and texts from people and Facebook messages saying, "Hey, you're on TMZ." And I didn't know if I was more upset that like my friends watch TMZ religiously, or that they were watching me on TMZ. So it was.
Yeah, but now you've become one of those stars that I can like be like, oh, I hate that guy. He's so famous. Look at him hanging out with Tara Reid. He thinks he's so cool.
Yeah, we're not quite there yet, but yeah.
So, can you tell us anything about Sharknado 3 other than that it has been announced for next July?
Yeah, Sharknado 3 has been announced for next July.
Oh, okay.
And we will
featuring Alice Cooper, right?
We'll probably shoot in January or February. So that's what I can tell you right now.
Okay. So the other reason why we got you here is in a couple of weeks you're having a screening for a House Is Not a Home.
Yeah, well, it's actually just over a week. It's about 10 days away. It's going to be on Sunday, August 24th in Wilmington, Delaware, at a place called the Theater N at Nemours. Really nice independent theater. And I wanted to, I was coming home for some other reasons, and I wanted to try and have a screening because so many people from back home have asked and they really want to see the movie. So I said, you know what, let me see if I can get a hold of a theater and make something happen. And the Theater N was so gracious to allow us to use the theater to do the screening, which made it very easy because now the tickets are free. So no one's paying. I mean, I'm giving them a little bit, but no one's paying for tickets, so I get to invite some family and friends and SnarkAlec. And so hopefully a little bit of press will be there, and everybody gets to see the movie and do a little Q&A and see how it goes.
And so the answer to the question is you will be present at the movie.
Yes, I will be present. The good news is I promise you I don't die in the first 5 minutes of this movie. I know that was a spoiler.
That's not a promise that you don't die, just that you make it past 5 minutes.
All I will say is that I make it further than I did in Zombie Apocalypse.
Okay. So, and I have one other question, and then I'll let the other guys in. I have intentions of taking my 17-year-old daughter with me. Is the movie appropriate for someone of that age, or do I have to sit there and be embarrassed while there's some like nudity and sex on the screen?
There's no nudity or sex. It is a very scary horror movie, so I will say that it's not appropriate for very young children. But beyond that, for teenagers, I would say you have to use your discretion on that. The movie currently is unrated, but if it was rated, it would probably be an R-rated movie.
Okay, that's cool. No, she's seen R-rated movies before. So that one ticket that I have is good for the both of us, Mr. Webb?
No, you need to get another ticket, but you can get it for free on that link that I sent you. Please feel free to send it individually to any SnarkAlecs that need it.
Okay.
And, yeah, you can bring a +1 or whatever, but you just have to reserve each seat because each ticket is a single seat.
Okay.
And seats are limited, so go ahead and grab that sooner than later.
Okay, I'll do that right after the show. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And go ahead, Cal.
So I have a question for Gerald. So
Yes, sir.
Gerald, you're in California,
Yes.
right? And you'll be making your way to the East Coast.
Yeah, well, I'm not in California at the moment. I started walking, and I'm in Texas at the moment.
Okay. So if you could turn north at this point in time, so as you're on your way to, if you can stop by, beautiful Flat, Illinois. I don't know if you're aware. I don't know if you're aware of this, Gerald, but in Bloomington, Illinois, we have a minor league baseball team called the Corn Belters, and they play in a stadium called the Corn Crib. And what better place to have a live outdoor airing of a house that's not a home than the Corn Crib? That maybe we could work that in on your way to the East Coast. Just saying, just an idea, spitballing.
Okay, I'll definitely see what I can do if I make it out of Texas alive.
Okay. Well, yes, good luck with that.
Exactly.
I do have another question for Mr. Webb, because we always have to look over Kelly's left shoulder to see what the egg is doing. But do you have some booze sitting there on the little table there to your left, Mr. Webb?
Me over here, you mean?
Mm-hmm.
Over there? Yeah, there is.
What kind of example are you setting? Drinking
I gotta
in front
hide
of
that. I
kids?
gotta put my arm up and hide the fireball and the tequila and the vodka and the wine. They're all gifts. People gave me that as gifts.
Sure.
Which makes
No,
them
they
less
really are.
alcoholic.
So, like, the bottle of tequila was given to me by one of the people that's on Z Nation for that's filming right now for sci-fi that'll be coming on this fall. So Keith Allen, who is a series regular on that, gave me that. And then there's a bottle of wine behind that Kalita Smith, who's also on Z Nation, gave me. And then there's a bottle of vodka that someone from another movie gave me. And then there's a bottle of Fireball that my roommate gave me.
Is the asylum behind Z Nation?
Yes, it is an asylum.
Oh, did not know that.
Excellent.
So
Very
cool. Very cool. Very, very cool.
Yeah. So yeah, very astute of you to notice. I have to watch like how I sit when I'm on TV, when I'm on SnarkAlec.
Well, it's not that I was looking to see what was behind you there and stuff. It just
I'm just glad you can't see the dead bodies on the floor.
That's good.
Everybody's got some dead bodies on the floor. That's why you only see us from the neck up.
So we may have lost Mike and VEXxed. I'm trying
We're
to
still
figure-
here?
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Sorry. You're so well lit. Sorry, Mike. It's hard to tell.
This is incredibly bright.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does the Asylum have anything else coming up this year on Sci-Fi that isn't on their schedule yet?
Not that I know of. Sharknado is kind of the big thing. We're prepping for the Phantom event, one night only on the 21st. 500 theaters all across the country, theatrical premiere of Sharknado 2. So it's like a midnight thing or 11 o'clock or whatever time at night it is. So we're prepping for that, and there'll be a big red carpet for that here in LA. I actually will be going to that. I had to change my trip, and I'll be going to that and then literally going right to the airport after to get back to the Philadelphia area.
Cool. Very, very cool. So I'm just taking a quick look at Twitter just to see if anybody else has any questions for Mr. Webb. We know you're pressed for time.
Just really quickly, because I know you are on a tight schedule. Obviously, I need to take 8,000 Instagram pictures with you when we're there. Is that something that we need to allot time for ahead of time at the screening?
Yeah, I have to figure it out. For the SnarkAlecs that are there, I want to try and make myself available just to kind of hang out with you guys a little bit, and I have to figure that out. So it may be I go, hey, let's meet at like a little beforehand around the corner somewhere, and we go have like a snack or something. I have to figure it out, but if I find out that a number of you guys are coming, then I will find a way to make us kind of meet separately for at least a little bit, either before or after.
Yeah.
Now, is snack
Gerald,
code for an inordinate amount of alcohol?
No, that's code for an inordinate amount of SnarkAlec's better show, so I can make special time to spend.
Unfortunately, as far as I know, right now I think Mike and I are the only ones, but
Okay.
I might be wrong.
Well, if we can, are there enough tickets still available for us to open this up to anybody? Like, just
So, well,
throw it
here's
out
the
there
thing.
and push it?
One person is can make a statement. Two people can make a stand, but with two people you can start a movement. So I trust that the two of you together can start a movement.
I'd like to point out at this point, Gerald, that the corn crib has spacious meeting rooms that would allow for quality time with all of the Bloomington area SnarkAlecs, which would be
you.
Yeah, so.
It'd be you, me, and the egg.
And the egg. Yeah, so there you go. The egg would join
Wait a
us.
minute, you're forgetting though. I'm sure that you don't show it, but I'm sure your life-size replica of Orlando Bloom would be there.
Of course. So yeah, I'd bring that along as well. So.
But here's the thing, guys. Tickets are kind of limited. There are a certain amount of tickets that I kind of have out there. So if there's people that you want to come or that you think would like to come, feel free to reserve a ticket for them or allow them to sign up.
Alrighty. Well, I will work on some people because I know there are some people that were kind of on the fence, and I think Myrna got a ticket. But
I believe she did. I
Yeah,
think
but
I
it-
saw her.
So a good idea then would be for any SnarkAlecs who are interested to DM Tony or myself, and we can send you the link directly.
And I'll even sweeten it some more. It may not be that day because I don't know if I can travel everything out there, but I'll sweeten it some more. For any SnarkAlecs that come to the screening, I will give you a House is Not a Home poster.
there you go. A signed "House is Not a Home" poster.
Hey,
and-
Tony's jumping. Tony's like a signed "House is Not a Home" poster, and he's flying in the drink.
In Gerald's blood.
As soon as Gerald's
Listen.
off, he's gonna be like,
No,
"Wow, wasn't that great
no,
that,
you know
that
what?
Gerald's gonna buy you dinner, give you a signed poster."
No, listen, he's right. For any SnarkAlec who shows up, I will give you a poster signed in Tony's blood.
Oh, that's cool. I'm going to make a flight out there then.
Whoa, you won't make a flight out here for me? All right, it's Tony's blood. I would do it too.
Yeah, so come on.
Yeah.
You know how it goes. We'll have to see if there are any posters left after the corn crib,
That's not bad.
extravaganza. That's you need to see the corn crib, Tony. It's pretty awesome. So it's lots of corn around it.
So, Gerald, before you go, I do have one little quibble with Sharknado 2, and I thought it was kind of funny. But there's that touching scene where the old manager and player for the Mets tells the story about his father was sitting in that seat 25 years ago, and he struck out. Yeah, Citi Field's only been there since 2009, so. Somebody did not do
That's where you lost your suspension of disbelief.
No,
Gerald,
it was a quibble. I was
Can you? Is it possible for you to cancel Tony's ticket? Leave his
Yeah.
daughter's ticket.
Just bring your blood, Tony. Just your
Tony, I'm just going to tell you now because I'm sure this will come up based on that. Some of the things that happen in my movie may not actually exist, or they may exist. I don't
Listen,
know.
Sharknadoes really happen. I've seen 2 movies about Sharknadoes. They must really happen. It must be true.
Okay. I can tell you that I was just with Tara Reid on TMZ, and she does not have a Sawzall for a hand. So
Would it be awesome though if she did?
No, it wouldn't.
I 100% disagree with you on this
It'd
one.
be awesome for you because you're never around her. I might accidentally.
Oh, okay. All right, I see it now. I just meant aesthetically. It would look really cool.
She doesn't
Right.
seem like someone who knows how to wield any kind of tools with any
Well,
kind
I don't
of
know, man.
skill.
She's a survivor, so I wouldn't underestimate her.
But yeah, that movie was great, and I hope number 3 follows the same formula with paying homage to different movies and stuff like that, because those were some of the best parts of the movie. That opening sequence was just killer. How you got Robert Hayes to do that? Did you have the fish or the chicken stuff from Airplane was fantastic.
Yeah, him and Rachel True were kind of both my kind of. Well, the director and I kind of both talked about Robert Hayes, and then I went and kind of got that done. But Rachel True was kind of like my back pocket, like, hey, she'd be a great kind of, because we couldn't do the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, do the same exact kind of like Airplane thing. But I thought she would be kind of a great little compliment to him, and it worked out really well. We were really happy about it.
Well, just keep Betty White out of it like you've done so far. Appreciate
What's wrong with
it.
Betty White, man?
White is a national treasure.
She is not. She is not. She's not funny. She doesn't belong in Sharknado. We need to move on.
Guess what, man? I'm gonna have her and Orlando Bloom, Sharknado 3, doing a love scene, and Kelly's gonna be brokenhearted forever.
That is amazing.
And with that,
So you had a short schedule, right, Gerald? You need to go, right?
I'm buying every copy that Best Buy has of Sharknado 3 on Blu-ray the day it comes out.
we
And
are
just watching those scenes.
Kelly, I have a question. Did you take a picture of the Sharknado poster I sent you when I sent it to you?
Yes, I did.
You did?
Yeah.
Did you tweet that? Like the original way you received it?
Why? Why would I do that, Gerald? All right. Yes, I have it. I will tweet that out. I will send the version that you sent me. That I did. I removed the additional thing you did, but yes.
I knew how important your Pirates of the Caribbean poster was, and I wanted you to at least feel like you were still at home when the Sharknado poster went up.
Okay. Well, I really appreciate that.
Okay, and with that, we're going to take a quick break. And we'll be right back. This is the SnarkAlec Radio Show on Live 365's Loud and Loaded channel. We will be right back. And we're back. Tony Solo here on the SnarkAlec Radio Show, Live 365's Loud and Loaded channel. Kelly's here, Mike's here, VEXxed is still there, and Gerald Webb is here. And we're just talking about all sorts of nonsense. And before you got here, Gerald, we were talking to VEXxed, who is the lead singer of a band called Starscream, and he's giving away his music free for movies. So,
awesome!
You might want to check him out. And
I don't. Apparently, like I'm giving away autographs for free, and he's giving away music for free.
He's giving
Everybody
away.
who appears on our show does things for the world for free.
Yes.
Yeah, because Tony makes it. Tony's like, yeah, well, I'll give you all their stuff.
Well, no, not everything, just most of it.
Just so you guys know, Tony's giving away copier service for free.
There you go. Thank you, Tony.
Well, let's put it this way. I have never charged anybody for any of my service. Personally.
That's sounds a little creepy. Gotta be honest with you.
Well, Mike, have I ever charged you?
Not directly, but like I feel like you've charged the company.
So.
We're always paying.
I think if I check the records, there was a charge.
I don't know, Tony. I don't know if your statement is true because I think I can speak for everybody here when I say we all feel like we're always paying for being your friend.
Okay.
That's
my new Twitter bio right there.
I pay Tony to be my friend. Is that what you're?
His Twitter bio will say Kelly Toole, clothing designer, and always paying to be for being Tony Solo's friend.
Spiritually.
That's why I'm always broke, because I'm always paying people to be my friend. It's just one of those things.
For 75 episodes.
For 75 episodes. Yeah. Speaking of 75 episodes, we haven't gotten paid yet there, Mike.
Wait. No,
It's
no.
accumulating. I
On
view it
the
as kind of
air.
an accumulation.
On the air, I doubled Kelly's salary.
Yeah.
Doubled his salary on the air.
So we know the multiplier, which is 2, Mike. So can we go to the other side of the multiplication sign there? What would that other number be? What would that other number be that it's being multiplied by 2? Can you share that? Yes, Vex. Vex is demonstrating exactly what that other number
Mike's my manager. I know all about the zero.
Yeah.
You do this for the love of the art.
Really.
Yeah, well, I just found out that I'm paying you people to be my friends, so...
No, we're paying mentally to be your no,
You're paying mentally, okay.
it's
So,
scarring
I
process.
I wasn't going to do this, but...
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
But I'm going to have to do it now. I'll do it in a second.
That's not good. That's not good.
Well, no,
I
it's
have
not
good
that it's
feelings.
good, but I did hear... I did hear that Mr. Webb had another run-in with Honey Boo Boo.
Oh, no, did he?
Yeah, he had another run-in with Honey Boo Boo, and
He doesn't fare well in those.
I
yeah, no,
don't.
he never does. And I actually have an undoctored photo that proves it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Undoctored. There
It
is
must have been
no-
a pretty big run-in because I don't remember it.
Well, obviously, it must have been because you do look like you're badly injured. And I got it. One of my friends sent it. One of my friends that I pay to be my friends sent it to me, and so I will tag you, Kelly, and I'll tag Mike. And again, obviously, no Photoshop was done.
Clearly.
Clearly, no Photoshopping was done. No Photoshopping. And for those people that are listening on the radio channel, you're going to have to just wait until I can get a chance to post this picture on the website, and you'll see it. And it should be up there now. So you can use your own judgment. And I'll ask Kelly first if he's had a chance to see it, because I did tag you.
I have not, actually, so I have not, so...
Okay, yeah, hit the refresh button there. It
I'm
should be
looking
popping
at it right now. No, that's not it. Oh, okay. Yeah. I can't talk about that a whole lot.
Okay, I know you can't talk about it, but obviously there might be some charges pending against Honey Boo Boo, but that photo was definitely not doctored by me in any way. Could you at least admit to that, Mr. Webb?
I don't believe, other than posting it, you've doctored it in any way.
Okay, so there you go. Tony finally tells the truth. Episode number 75 of the SnarkAlec Radio Show, a photo that is not doctored. And you heard it from Gerald himself. He says it's not been photoshopped, so.
Yes, it has not been photoshopped.
And are criminal charges pending against an 8-year-old girl? Or can you not comment at this time about it?
Under the advice of my lawyer, I have to refrain from commenting on the situation.
Personally think Honey Boo Boo would love the corn crib. Just saying. Just saying.
Yeah, I have to withhold that.
Okay. So with that, where are we going, boys?
We actually don't have much time left.
Yeah, we don't. And how many questions do we have for Vex? There's still a lot of stuff, or are there a couple you really want to get to?
There was definitely a few more in there.
So why don't you guys take a quick breeze through there and see if there's anything else you wanted to
Well, I
get
have a question for Vez.
to. Okay.
What's your favorite Justin Bieber song?
Yeah, I've never heard a Justin Bieber song, and it's not in its entirety anyway. So no. But thank you for asking, sir.
Okay, I understand. You must be more of a Nicki Minaj kind of guy.
Well, sincerely, yes. Actually, yeah. Now, I don't know if you know this. I mean, how well versed are you in the Kanye material? 'Cause my introduction-
I know of the Kanye.
Okay, so his fourth record,
No, wait a minute. Are we talking pre-Kimye or post-Kimye?
pre, sir, pre.
Pre. Okay. Yes. I
The
was very much
breakup from the.
I very much liked pre-Kimye Kanye.
Okay, the Dark record, the one about the Dark breakup.
Yes.
That was my introduction to Nicki Minaj because she wasn't famous yet, and she
Yes.
rapped very specifically about Nightmare on Elm Street, and I was impressed. So I kind of like her.
Okay. I don't know if she actually wrote that. I'd like to find out, but I don't know.
I'm
Is there
sure
like
that
a movie-
the gentleman on this radio program will Google it for us, but it was entertaining nonetheless.
Yes. Okay.
What's your favorite Rolling Stones song?
There's a lot. That's tough, man.
No, man, there's like 4 good ones. Don't lie to yourself.
Nah, I don't know if I agree with that.
I still, and this is where Vex, who doesn't like me already, is going to like me even less.
I love Kelly.
Under Cover of the Night, I still think I love that song.
Pretty good actually.
That would be a great song to kill zombies to, by the way, Gerald. Keep that in mind, would you?
Yeah, but it'd be really expensive. It's a Rolling Stones song. So.
I think more appropriate for a zombie apocalypse might be.
I'll have to get some of Vez's songs because they're free apparently.
By the way, it's Vex, VEX.
Vex. I'm sorry, Vex.
As no
Apparently
worries.
they're free, so I'll just be putting Vex's songs in all my movies.
I could use the exposure, frankly. So rock on, brother.
Cool. Send me, Twitter me a link. Let me listen to some of your stuff.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
SnarkAlec Radio's already claimed one, so you just back off of that, buddy.
Yeah, have you done a SnarkAlec Radio theme song, Vex?
I guess I think I recorded one on 2 records ago that they're going to adopt. So yes, I think I have. Actually.
Okay, cool. So by the way, I just realized why I said Vez because in Mercenaries there's a character named Vez. That's why. Sorry, Vex.
No
Trust me,
worries.
I would never compare you to Vez in that movie.
So as I said, Gimme Shelter, might be better for zombie apocalypse. So just sneak that in there again.
So have you guys asked Vex what are some of your musical influences?
We definitely covered it. I'm a big Bowie fan, big Queen fan. Love me some classic Guns N' Roses, things of that nature. Velvet Revolver, Stone Temple Pilots.
Okay. Cool. I like it.
What about you?
Oh man, I used to be a DJ, so I love all kinds of music, man. My favorite.
But give me some examples.
Well, my favorite
Hanson's a big one.
The whole Motown era is some of the smoothest.
That is the shit, isn't it?
It's crazy.
It's so good.
But I mean,
Hanson's Motown.
I mean, dude, as a DJ, the more music I played, the more kind of music I loved. I love the Lenny Kravitz stuff. I thought he kind of created a whole new kind of thing with what he did. I was a big Chili Peppers fan. I just like everything, man. I really do. I mean, really super hard 80s specifically, kind of like rock wasn't really my thing. But some of the newer stuff I liked, like Live and so it really just depends. But I like all kinds of music.
Fine answer. By the way, Kelly, have you seen Hanson live? Because I have.
I have. I'm proud to say no.
You're
No member of Hanson has spit on me either. Unlike
you're just making jokes. You don't know.
Yeah, I don't. I pegged Gerald as a Hanson
telling
guy.
the truth because if he had seen Hanson, he would have poked his own eyes out.
No, listen to this shit. You're gonna die. They're great players.
Really?
I couldn't believe it. A girl dragged me, of course, and I'm sitting there, and they can really play. They really can. I mean, I'm not a fan, but I can respect their musical acumen.
So I had the pleasure back in 2006, excuse me. I toured with Sammy Hagar and his band.
That's awesome. Now, do you know who his lead guitar player is in that band?
I'm sorry?
Do you know who the lead guitar player is in that band?
Yeah, Vic Johnson. He's amazing.
Exactly. Well done. From the Bus Boys, right? Exactly.
Yeah. He is the most undiscovered, kick-ass guitar player around. He's ridiculous.
Because he can play like Eddie Van Halen. He can play all that shit. He can play it very well.
Yeah, he's actually
I like you already.
Friend. He's a good guy. And their bassist Mona's really good too.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the whole band's really stellar, but in my opinion, like the unsung hero is the lead guy. Like you said, no one really knows who he is, and that's like a tragedy.
So, in what capacity, Gerald, did you tour with them?
I kind of did some DJing and kind of ran some stuff behind the scenes, kind of thing. And every once in a while, I would rap "Fight for Your Right to Party" as an encore song with Sammy.
Oh, cool.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very, very
And in
nice.
between each line, Sammy would be like, "Yo, what's for dinner, man? I'm starving." It was awesome.
And so, are we getting ready to wrap this puppy up? Do we have any more questions for Mr. VEXxed?
Let me check the question thread on Facebook. Let me see here. Kelly, we haven't established yet whether or not you're Eskimo brothers with VEXxed, but I feel like that's almost certain, so we can just get past that.
Yeah. Well, there was a really good question, but I mean, so been real impressed with so VEXxed, awesome guest overall, just great and everything. But surprises us, that some of the questions, man, runs deep and thoughtful, which is unusual commentary for SnarkAlec Radio with someone who actually thinks. So I hate to ask this one because I think it'll force a little bit more of that. But someone had asked a question about depression and some comments Gene Simmons made about depression and some of your thoughts on it. I know it's not like a real up thing to finish the show with, but it's a good question.
It's a fine thing to finish on, sincerely. We all know the loss of Robin Williams was pretty tragic earlier this week. Like, sincerely, that was an awful thing. And Gene Simmons, I don't know if everybody is aware, went off on a little rant kind of dismissing depression. But I have an understanding that I'm trying to explain that maybe you guys will grasp, and he's not as offensive as you think. Like, I loved my grandfather, but the things that he said when he was in his 60s and 70s were just ridiculous and detached from reality. And Gene Simmons is rapidly approaching 70. So he's kind of like not with it anymore and doesn't really comprehend things to the gravity of the situation. So I think it was just like a little old man saying some off-the-cuff things he shouldn't have said. So I'm not really chalking it up to like he's a bad guy. He's just a bit clueless, which is sad. He's 40 years into his career, like he's not a young man. And then Nikki Sixx was directly offended by it. And he said, it was irresponsible because there's a 20-year-old kid out there who's a Kiss fan who, when he hears Gene Simmons talk about depression, he thinks it's okay to kill himself. But I can advise Nikki Sixx of this. There are no 20-year-old Kiss fans. So everything's fine.
But there are 20-year-old Alice Cooper fans.
Yes, there are.
Guaranteed. Absolutely. I got two of them in this household, man.
I had the fortune of working with Alice Cooper and hanging out with him a little bit. Just so you know, he is a huge fan of Asylum films. Huge. They watch them on the tour bus about once every 6-8 months. I send them like a bunch of our most recent movies, and they're always happy to get them and watch them.
Very, very nice. Very nice.
Yeah, and you've helped him out because in the original kind of some of the earlier days of touring, he used to send his assistant out to go get really the worst kung fu movie possible and a large bag of Skittles to do a little bit of show prep. And so this has been a nice addition to give a little bit of different stuff. But that's really cool that he loves Asylum stuff. Very cool.
He was great. He worked on Bigfoot, so he was great, and I got to meet him. And I don't have it in my office, but I have a guitar signed by him somewhere at the house and that kind of thing.
And he lived, right? I mean, he was kicked pretty far, but he's Alice, so he was fine.
Yeah, I don't think Alice can't die.
I know.
Alice Cooper drank with Jim Morrison. Kelly, Alice Cooper, when he was 18 years old, hung out at the whiskey and drank with Jim Morrison. That's fucking rock star, dude.
Hollywood
And
vampires, absolutely. Yep.
Hollywood Vampires. We're going to end the show on that note. That's a great band name, by the way.
That's an LA Guns record, by the way. No one bought it, but it's an LA Guns record.
Oh, okay. Well, then we can't
Gerald,
use that as a...
No, I'm just kidding, Tracy.
And Gerald, I sent you a tweet with that frickin' photo against my better judgment, but you've got it. So
everybody has to look at that tweet. I gotta find it right now.
Yeah, it's really great. So kill this thing, Tony. Make it go away.
All right. Well, so next week we're going to have Reggie Bug Muncher on.
Boomushay. Use the umlaut.
There's no umlaut.
Use the
Umlaut. Umlaut, though. If you look at the way it's spelled, there is an umlaut.
Okay, yeah, uh-huh. And she is a what do you call her?
A human, a woman.
No. Vex said a visual artist, but how did you
No, that's
describe
pretty
her
accurate. I mean, she does burlesque and sideshow type performances, but it's a very interesting. Well, I don't want to give too much away because I just went to one of her shows, so we're definitely going to talk about that next week.
Okay, but I mean her last name. Okay, with the umlaut in there is how do you pronounce her name?
Boomushay.
Boomushay, and it is spelled Bug Muncher. So she will be on.
Unless you don't know what accent marks are.
Can I just call her umlaut for the whole show?
Actually, can you call me umlaut? I think that's an awesome word.
I can
She's
do that.
very, very charming, and you're all going to like her a lot. So you're going to feel very bad next week for calling her Bug Muncher. Trust me, she's a good-looking girl, and
That's
she's
right.
fucking charming, man.
Next week, Vex, Kelly's the host, so he's going to have to introduce her, so it's not my problem. Which is what it comes down to. So,
Feeling a little sick. Might not be able to make it.
yeah, you're going to make it. So with that, I'm just going to say, Nanu, rest in peace. Good night, guys.